Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and close my mesh group, close the ribbon spine. Let's close down the joints. We didn't actually add any joints. Well, no, we did add joints, but they're actually already organized properly. So we really just got all this stuff we need to deal with. Okay. So, all right. I need to make sure I name this properly. Get it right. Okay, so I just went ahead and grouped the two IK wrist cons together. I'm going to name this IK wrist cons group. This is going to be for the left and the right. We have a couple extra groups here. We'll just delete these. We'll take the elbow cons. I want to move them into that wrist con group. So we'll put this in here. Left hand finger con group, right hand finger con group. We're going to go and take those two, and we really can't put them under a specific controller. We're going to have to basically put them, because if we put them, we're going to run into double transformation errors if we try to put them under, like, the left or right FK wrists, which it shouldn't be there anyways. They're already parented. So they're going to kind of exist in the controller group on their own, because they need to have floatability. The wrist con group, though, however, that is going to have to go that's going to be going, actually, I'm going to put the switch, actually, you know what, no, the switch, left IKFK switch. Let's rename this one. Okay, so I have the two con groups for the switches. I'm going to group them together. IKFK switch group. So I'm going to put them on right there. So I'm just simplifying everything. IK, right IK handle, left IK handle. I'm going to group them together. We'll group them and name it. Okay. So we're going to go and take the wrist, finger, and switch. We're going to put that under the con group. Okay. The IKFK switch con. Let's do a little test here and see what all's following along perfectly for us. Everything's moving along pretty well. So actually, I'm going to leave IKFK switch con is going to be just under the con group. Finger con group is just going to be under the con group. IK wrist con, that's actually going to go under the placement con, because we do want to be able to move the IK wrist cons with us. So I'm going to take the wrist con and put it under here. Let me show you what I'm talking about. This is going to be very similar to the reverse foot setup. Okay. So what we want is to be able to move the world controller and the placement controller. Okay. and we want the feet and the arms to follow. But when we do the root, we don't necessarily want the arms or the feet to follow along, okay? Which is why under the root, you'll see that we have the wrist cons and the left foot and the right foot cons basically being siblings to the root con, okay? Otherwise, if they were under it, if they were under the root, they would follow the root. We don't want that. We want a character to be able to use the IK handle or the IK controller to, say, grab a door handle and pull it closed while moving the body. We want to be able to have, character walk and have the feet stick on the ground. So we don't necessarily want them to be under the root, okay? But we do want to put them under the placement controller because we do want to be able to move all of that together, okay? So let's go ahead and save. Finger con, just for example, if we put the finger con group, let's say under placement con, just see what would happen. Nothing. My worry is by placing finger con groups under things that are moving, let's say under the root, that we might start getting things like double transformations, which we're not getting it here. But let's just say, for example, we just keep the finger con group because it's perfectly fine where it is right now. We're just going to put it under the con group. We're just going to leave it there, okay? Just to make sure we're good. And then same thing with the switch. They're already following along. They're getting their information from here, so they should be just fine. Okay. All right. Then we have the ARM IK handles. We're going to go and put that under the char group. Okay. And I'll tell you what, we're getting a couple of these groups. So like the ribbon spine and the IK arm handle. Let's go ahead and grab the ribbon spine setup and the IK arm. I'm going to just go and group those. I'm just going to go ahead and call it miscellaneous group. And we just put those together. So again, we're just simplifying this as much as we need to. Okay. Do a little test, turn it, rotate it. Okay. And so when I do, I'll just go ahead and roll in how I'm going to critique this. So when you turn this in, I'm going to test your switch. So I'm going to basically do the same thing I did on the other ones. I'm going to grab the world con, move it around, make sure nothing flies off or double transforms. I'm going to go ahead and grab your IK controller and move that around, make sure it works. Grab a clavicle and rotate that around. We're going to do the switch. Make sure all of these work. And then we'll do the switch. Activate it to see how it does from there. Okay. I'll also go ahead and grab the elbow and test that. And then we'll grab finger controls and test those. I'm only doing one finger, but I'm going to grab all the fingers and test them. And then just like last time with the other controllers, I'll grab all of your controllers and set your translations and rotations to 0 and see if it collapses or crushes anything. Then we'll know if we have some non-frozen transformations, okay? And then that's how I'm going to look at it. I'm also going to test and see how well this integrates with your other systems. So like your ribbon spine, your root, and see how well that moves. Because again, if they're not connected properly, then they're not functioning properly, okay? So we'll be checking that as well. And that's what I expect from you guys when you are reviewing these. Alrighty. If you guys have any questions or anything, let me know. I am more than happy to answer them, to the best of my ability. And I'll see when this is due.